to launch our topic today. Today, we're discussing the secrets to healthy relationships. And healthy relationships is everything in life. These days, it has become quite interesting with all of the things that we have all gone through in this world to create our healthy relationships. So I'm going to be discussing and actually offering a special gift today as well. I'm going to be discussing the fact that healthy relationships are created through your awesome communication that you have first and foremost with yourself and divine. So first and foremost, when you create a healthy relationship with the universe, with divine, with God, with the powers to be, meaning all of source, all of love, all of light, all of healthy consciousness. When you create an awesome relationship and you're talking with divine daily, and I like to say that you can define divine the way that you feel comfortable, the way you feel comfortable defining divine. We're not going to get into a big debate on what is the definition of divine, because I know there are various definitions out there. What's more important is that you're connecting with a higher power that is a source of love and light. And when you're fully connected daily and having that communication daily, it creates a wonderful relationship that you can do anything with. Then, because you've got the relationship with divine, you're able to create a wonderful relationship with yourself. So, really working on submerging yourself into really getting to know yourself and give yourself the things that you need. Give yourself the things that you want, need, and desire in order to be feeling fulfilled in life. And it starts with respecting yourself. So really, truly respecting yourself. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Dana. Super awesome to see you. We are discussing the secrets to healthy relationships. And number one with your notebook and pen is creating a relationship and connection with divine, whatever you define that as, and talking with God, the universe, co-creating and feeling like you have a trusted friend in God. So the daily communication, because let's face it, when you absolutely love and adore somebody, you talk to them as much as you possibly can, especially daily. And so you want to start talking to God and divine daily. With that healthy relationship and connection that you have with God, then you can develop a really healthy relationship with yourself. Now, the cool thing is once you've got a wonderful, loving, mutually respectful relationship with yourself and divine. Now, that sounds a little bit silly, mutually respectful. Well, with divine, you're going to get respect and love automatically. But from yourself, that might be a work of art for you initially. If you haven't experienced love from, for instance, your mom or your dad at growing up, if you didn't feel loved, then what we have to do is start loving ourselves unconditionally. And at the beginning, if you're having a hard time with it, if you're struggling, and you know you have to do it in order to get healthy and to heal your other relationships, because the way you heal your other relationships with other people is to heal your relationship with yourself. And once you have done that, the rest of it is much easier. Being able to communicate well with other people is a direct result of communicating well with yourself. So I had to start training myself how to do that. And it took some time and effort. However, focusing on it, like making it your focus, making it the focus that you know for sure that you are going to create a wonderful, loving relationship with yourself. You're going to talk nice to yourself. You're going to give yourself compliments. You're going to recommend, or you're going to actually thank yourself for accomplishing things. Thank yourself for just being, and show gratitude to yourself. So, the first thing that you should do when you accomplish something wonderful and you've made something great happen today, it could be small, it could be medium, it could be huge, it could be a big thing. Either way, small, medium, or large, you want to first thank yourself. And I mean, you can thank divine first and then yourself. But I think oftentimes we start talking to all the other people who have assisted us and helped us, and we thank them first. And then we remember later on to thank divine. And we may not even remember to thank ourselves. And when I started thanking myself, I started reinventing my relationship with me. And I recommend that highly, because when you have a good relationship with yourself and you're loving and you have unconditional love for yourself, you give yourself another chance if you feel like you've messed something up, and you give yourself unlimited chances. It's not like, okay, you only have one more chance and then, it's over. Then you will get good at being able to be in a relationship with someone else, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a romantic partner, a child of yours, a sibling, a parent, a coworker, anyone actually. And so the first thing that you want to do is really just focus on your relationship with God and with yourself. The rest will actually start falling into place because it'll transform who you are. I remember when I had lost trust in myself because I had gone through a rough patch in life. I had some things didn't go the way I wanted or hoped for them to go. I held myself personally accountable for everything. And I remember it was almost like self-punishing because I had grown up with a lot of punishing in my household. That was kind of the way that they did things in the era that I was growing up in. And I had only known that. And so when my first teacher healer had taught me to ask myself, whose voice is that talking to you right now? Because I hear you doing a lot of self-judging and a lot of self-punishing and resulting in a lot of self-hate. And I want to know, who has ever talked to you like that before? Whose voice is that? And when I realized that it was really a lot of other people living in my mind that I had experienced at a younger age, that, or even at a current age, even people that I was in a relationship with right now, when I realized that I was really just being a parrot and mimicking what other people had said to me and done to me, I was surprised and shocked first, but secondly, I was relieved, because it was such a freeing thing to find out that I actually didn't hate myself, and it wasn't going to be such a long, huge journey to repair my relationship with me. All I had to do was evict all of those voices and people from my mind and find out who Camille really is. So today I want to implore you to find out who you really are. Evict all those voices from your mind that aren't even yours. Next time you hear yourself doing something to judge yourself, saying that, oh, look at what you're doing, you never do this right, you're always late for everything, or you're always forgetting this, or whatever horrible thing you're saying to yourself. It could be much worse than what I just gave you as an example. Whenever you catch yourself doing something like that, ask yourself, whose voice is this? Who is this talking to me? Who's ever talked to me like this before? And then you can evict them with love and gratitude. You don't have to evict them with anger and frustration. And then you don't have to get on the phone and call them up and go, do you know what? Just because of you, that is why I'm all having these problems, blah, 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 blah. You don't even have to do that, because chances are they're dealing with that in their own life. If somebody has harmed you or hurt you, it's because they were hurting. So you can be the place that stops the hurting and the pain in your family. It only takes one person to decide to not pass it forward and not pass it on to the people that you're in a relationship with, your spouse, your children, your parents, and be that one who is able to become consciously aware and recognize that we're just repeating the things that our parents and grandparents have said and great grandparents and passed it on, or maybe an ex-wife or ex-husband has said it to us. And it might not even be our parents or our grandparents. It could have been a boyfriend or a girlfriend that we had at one time. And it might have even only been a relationship for 1 month. And something was planted, a seed in our head, in our mind. And that seed in our mind started growing because, for instance, you're not good enough seed, right? One person tells you that. It could be somebody in high school that you were going to school with. You weren't even in a relationship. It was just one of the people that you take classes with who decided to say something to you. Could have even been out of jealousy or whatnot. And somehow it stuck with you and it opened up what I call a file cabinet in your subconscious mind, and it started to grow. And every time you felt bad about something or not good enough, that went into that file cabinet and made it grow bigger. And so over a lifetime, when you find yourself in your 40s or 50s or 60s, recognizing and becoming fully consciously aware that these are just programs that were planted into our mind from somebody else, and that we just have to delete those programs that are planted in our mind. And then we can go ahead and put new programs in and plant new ones that we want in our mind, so that we can have a healthy, happy relationship with ourselves, and that we can pass that on to the other people that we're in a relationship with, because we are only capable of loving others and treating others as good as we treat ourselves. So people who are being awful and abusive and saying horrible things, they are doing the same thing to themselves. They may not admit it, of course, but they are awful to themselves, and they're passing that around to everybody else as well. And chances are it's just a program that was planted in their head by one or more people, and it's just repeating on a broken record. For those of you who even know what a record is, I know I'm dating myself. They don't have them anymore, but where it just keeps spinning around and around, and it's repeating itself over and over. So in today's world, that would be like putting your Spotify on repeat so that it'll repeat your favorite song continuously until you turn it off. Well, that's what happens when you've got a program running in your mind. It just keeps looping around and around, do, 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 do. And so we have to take this mind of ours and reprogram it, rewire it to create a healthy, happy relationship with ourselves. Once we do that for the relationship with ourselves, the rest of our relationships are going to be able to be healed. And if it's not healed or upgraded, it will potentially maybe be ended or moved out. So it really just depends, because you're going to be able to start coordinating would you like to co-create a healthy relationship with me, with somebody who maybe you have a toxic relationship with right now. And because you now are giving yourself unconditional love and forgiveness and non-judgment and compassion and radical acceptance, self-acceptance, then and only then will you be able to give it to others. And I say that really gently and firmly and strongly all at the same time. So write that down, and let's go ahead and actually do a cleansing and clearing of our mindset of all relationships or things that have been said that have not been healthy to us. and reboot it with some positive new programs. So that means that we're going to do some NLP and some self-hypnosis today. For those of you who would like to actually do a treatment to connect with divine and to truly connect with yourself, your inner being, your soul, in a healthy way, and be able to release old programs from old other people, or new programs that were just placed by somebody else or by yourself. You might have programmed yourself. You decided to start talking mean to yourself. So either way, all these programs need to be deleted, released, and let go of with love and gratitude. We can thank them for getting us to the point that we're at today in our life, because they did truly help us get to this place. And now we can let them go with love and gratitude, and recognize that every single thing that you've gone through, good, bad, or wonderful, has gotten you to this place. So you literally can be thankful and grateful for everything and all that you've experienced in your life, even if it wasn't enjoyable, even if it was horrible. When I was able to do that for myself, it was like, wow, it's a whole new world now. It's a whole new world to be able to look at maybe something that was very traumatic that happened and be able to see how God was able to use it as a tool for us to create the being that we are today, the loving, caring, kind, compassionate being, the empathetic, the being that has empathy for others. And maybe we wouldn't have been as understanding and non-judgmental and have the empathy and the care and the kindness and the consideration for others if we hadn't gone through that stuff. Because I know that all of us are here to learn certain soul lessons so that we can achieve our soul missions. And some of us like to call that our divine purpose. So whenever you look at some of those things that happened to you that might have planted those seeds that made you feel like you're not good enough, let's reframe this. Let's have a perspective shift on this. Have you ever thought that maybe you came here to learn the lesson of compassion, for instance, and the things that you've gone through in your life have actually caused you to now have compassion for others because you recognize how hard life can be sometimes. So even though you're maybe not in that place right now anymore, or you are, but let's say you're not, and you're in a much better place, a much higher place in your life, at the same time, you're not able to forget where you came from. Because sometimes in life, we meet people who are wonderful, successful people, and then they have a heart of gold. They literally are able to see through people and clearly understand the things that they're going through. And it's because they have gone through things themselves and they have made it a point to remember how they got to this place, how they became the successful person that they are. And I think sometimes it's also paying it forward. So karmically, sometimes karma is that you're going through all your stuff now so that you can pay it forward, because of what's coming in your life is going to be absolutely fantastic. And you're learning some lessons so that you will be able to be responsible with all the gifts that God is giving you. You'll be able to manage them. You'll be able to maintain them. You won't take them for granted. You know, I know myself, if you had been married at one time and then you find yourself single and you didn't ever plan on being single, you didn't plan on being divorced, and you go through a long period of time of being single because you're not going to settle and you're not just going to go marry the first person who you find, but you know that you want to really get it right this time and find the one that is right for you the one that is chosen for you and that is in alignment with what your goals are for a relationship, that you have similar things that you want out of life and the way that you want to live life together, you match. And so you're not going to just settle for anyone. And on your journey of looking for the right one, you really get to a point where it's like, if I ever do find someone, I'm certainly not going to let them go. I'm going to work at the relationship. I'm going to work at the communication. I'm going to work at being patient and understanding. And maybe the first time you didn't have those skills, maybe you were so young when you got married that you didn't even really understand how to develop a relationship, how to have patience and understanding. Maybe you just thought, oh, everything's not going perfect, we're not right for each other, and get a divorce and just let it go, thinking, oh, I'll just replace them in a heartbeat with someone else. And then you find out maybe the soul lesson is for you to realize that relationships do take some work. They take some patience and understanding and effort. And the next time you do receive a gift from God of a wonderful spouse, you are going to take it more preciously into your heart of how you're going to set up that relationship, how you're going to nurture it, nurturing the relationship. You don't just, get married and then you find the right one. And because you found the right one and get married, everything's perfect. No, there's nurturing to the relationship. There's compromise. There's patience and understanding and kindness. There's seeking understanding first instead of coming to draw conclusions. And so when you actually really put effort into it, you can co-create a wonderful relationship, and you don't let it go so fast and easily the next time because you're older. First of all, you've already been through it once and you don't want to go through it again, where the relationship doesn't work. And so this time you're going to work at it. In fact, you'll probably have more conversations prior to getting married with that person about, how do you feel about if we were to have a conflict? How would you like to handle that? Like if we're having a disagreement and one or both of us are upset, how would we handle that? What could we do to come to a better place? Would you be able to just agree to disagree for some things? And you'd get into it, right? So some of this is just that it's preparing you because you're going to be gifted exactly what you want. God is going to send you the miracles and the blessings that you're praying for. You're going to get everything and more than you asked for. And you better be ready for it, because you don't want to lose it because you weren't ready for it and you weren't willing to work at maintaining it and nurturing it, whatever that is, whether it's you're asking God for a child because you want to give birth, or a spouse, or a new career, and maybe you're going to really want to, or a new business. You want to grow your business. You're asking God for more clients for your business. Well, are you ready for them? Are you ready to take care of them the right way, to nurture them the right way, to have programs set up for them that will really give them what they need in order to get the outcomes that they have hired you for, whatever it is that you do? So I found that when you are ready for them, and you might be practicing on a smaller scale with a smaller amount of clients, and then you get a system in place, a team in place, everything's working wonderfully. God can see, the universe can see, wow, look at how wonderful that she or he is doing with the clients that they have and the system they've built. And this is going to be just perfect for these types of people. And so once that system is all worked and you're being a trustworthy and organized business owner, then God says, here you go, and sends you a whole bunch more clients with a whole bunch more money to manage. And because you've already shown on smaller scales that you are able to do it, you're trusted with more. So it's about building relationships with yourself, with God, and with others. So let's go ahead and do a release of any patterns or programs that are not supporting a healthy relationship with ourselves and with divine and with others, and then upgrade and put a new program that is going to support and help us. Okay, we're going to start out with a prayer and a blessing. Thank you, God. Thank you for bringing us all together today to be able to transform our relationships with you, with divine, with ourselves, and with others. Now, today is the day that I declare and proclaim that I am ready, willing, and able to take 100% responsibility and accountability for everything that I have going on in my life. You can go ahead and repeat that after me. Today is the day that I take 100% accountability and responsibility for everything that I have going on in my life in the past and in the present. And I am thankful and grateful for all of it because it got me to this point. And I am now ready, willing, and able. So you can repeat after me, please. I am now ready, willing, and able to release any and all energy that is not mine or is not mine, but I claimed it to be mine accidentally, or it's no longer serving me for my highest and greatest good. I let it go now with love and gratitude. No harm done to none. On all levels, planes, and dimensions, and in all moments of time, past, present, and future. Any programs that are not supporting healthy relationships with divine, with myself, and with others, I let them go now. Let go, let go, let go. And you can use your hands to just say, let go, let go, let go. And thank you. And now I am ready, willing, and able to receive the new uploads, the new downloads, the new programs into my mind and into my body and spirit and energy field that will fully support me in having a wonderful and healthy connection with divine every day, and with myself every day, and with others every day. I thank you for a continuous flow into my mind daily and into my body and spirit and energy field around me, a continuous flow of positive, loving energy. And that I accept new programs in my mind now that support love, unconditional love, forgiveness, non-judgment, compassion, and radical acceptance, and self-acceptance. And I receive them now. I plant them securely into my mindset, allowing me to operate in my new mode of operation. Now, something really, really important here. I'm going to give you this. It's coming through for everyone to understand this. So I'm going to have you repeat this after me now. I now know that in order to heal my body, I have to heal my mindset. I now know that in order to heal my relationship with divine, I have to heal my mindset, which means change my mindset. I now know in order to heal my relationship with myself and to know that I'm good enough, I have to heal or change my mindset. And I now fully am ready, willing, and able to change my mindset and nurture it daily for positive attitude of love, forgiveness, non-judgment, compassion, and acceptance with God, all of divine, with myself, and with everyone else that I interact with. I know that that doesn't mean that I become a carpet for somebody to walk on. Sometimes love is tough love, where we have to put boundaries down and say no. However, I'm prepared to love people and first and foremost, divine and myself unconditionally and move forward with ease, joy, and grace, creating a healthy, and happy life. And so it is. Amen and amen and amen. And thank you and thank you and thank you.